What's up, everybody? It's Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, and on this channel, we break down the trials and cases you care most about so you can understand how the American civil and criminal justice system works. And we try to make sure you understand what your rights are in every situation, which is why we try to walk you through the entire legal process while also answering your insightful questions along the way. And while it's not legal advice, it's always exciting. So buckle up for another episode of The Lawyer You Know.
Hi, everyone. Pete Sardis for The Lawyer You Know. Recently, we've gotten a lot of phone calls asking questions about Camp Lejeune and Camp Lejeune cases. So we're going to take a minute and do a video to kind of give you an idea about what these cases are about, who qualifies, who doesn't, and just to give you some basic facts so you understand what all of this barrage of, advertising that you're seeing on TV and in social media is all about. All right. The basic issue is this. Apparently, the water at Camp Lejeune from about 1953 until 1987 was contaminated, and whatever those contaminants were caused cancer. A lot of lawsuits got filed in the state of North Carolina against the U.S. government. A number of claims were filed with the VA and through other governmental agencies, for example, like Social Security Disability, talking about cancer that had been caused by a contamination at Camp Lejeune. To make a long story short, a lot of these claims were being denied or the cases were being dismissed out of courts because there was, either one issue or another. The timing wasn't right. Statutes of limitations had run, whatever the case may be. So what wound up happening is the legislature passed the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2021. And it basically says that certain individuals are allowed to recover damages for harm that they've been exposed to or that cancers they've been diagnosed with because of the water at Camp Lejeune. Now, there is an actual time frame. It's August 1st of 1953 through December 31st of 1987. And you had to have actually been at Camp Lejeune for 30 days or more during that time period, and you have to have been exposed to that contaminated water. So who's allowed to make a claim? Service members, obviously. Anybody that was there, family members of service members, people that were living on base, anyone who has had a loved one that's died because of a linked condition, or anybody else that may be exposed to a health condition in the future. Now, this is not just limited to Camp Lejeune. There's also a place called Marine Corps Air Station, MCAS for short, North River in North Carolina. This particular facility is also covered under the Camp Lejeune Act. And the basic conditions that you have to have been either diagnosed with or there's a possibility that you might contract are like certain types of cancers, esophageal, bladder, kidney, leukemia. If you're a woman, if you're facing any infertility, breast cancer, things like that, you may qualify. If you've had miscarriages because of an exposure, you also may qualify. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, if you have children that have neurobehavioral issues, they also may qualify. There's a big list, obviously, of conditions that have been linked to the water contamination at Camp Lejeune. So if you've got one of the conditions, and you can actually go to the federal government's website, just put in Camp Lejeune cancer types, and they'll actually give you a list of everything that is covered. If you have one of those conditions and you develop those conditions after being at Camp Lejeune for 30 days or more, you might have a claim. Now, the period for filing has been defined in the new statute, and that is 2 years from the date that the harm occurred or was discovered, whichever one is later. And you've got 180 days from the date that a claim was denied under what's called Section Title 28. Let's try that again. Title 28, Section 2675, meaning you did a VA claim and the VA denied you, or you did a Social Security disability claim and it was denied. You've got 180 days from that denial. The effective date of the Camp Lejeune Act was August 10th of 2022. So those dates run from that August 10th, 2022 date. So realistically, you're pretty much already about 120 or so days into this time period. So if you believe that you might have a claim, now is the time to bring them. Other than that, there are some legacy cases that exist. In other words, there are cases that were filed either in federal court in North Carolina or in the state courts in North Carolina alleging damages because of water contamination at Camp Lejeune. you need to talk to your lawyer if you have one of those cases. We call those legacy cases. And what will probably happen is that those cases are going to be dismissed and you're going to be forced to join this class, which is set forth in the Camp Lejeune Act. Other than that, if you have a VA claim currently pending for cancer and you were at Camp Lejeune, or you have a Social Security claim pending, please, again, speak with your attorney and talk to them about it, because, again, you also may be preempted and you may have to join the class under this particular statute. Now, with that, if you have questions, if you think that you have a Camp Lejeune claim, our office currently is not handling those claims, although we do have colleagues that are handling Camp Lejeune claims, and we're happy to get you in touch with somebody that might be able to help you. Just reach out to us here at The Lawyer You Know, and we will get you in touch with the right people.